a rivalry that goes back over 100 years. These two teams have faced each other. 16 years ago, the name of the Coal Bowl was added to this rivalry, which makes this obviously the 16th annual Coal Bowl. The creators of the name and the trophy, brothers Barry and Bob Lippincott, had faced off in this rivalry back in the 60s. And working with the Pennsylvania Coal Association, they've created this name as a layer for these two teams to showcase their grit, their determination, and their perseverance. And right now, these two teams need that, as both these teams not only are fighting for the Coal Miners' Pail Trophy, but are also fighting to keep their playoff hopes alive and a potential run into the postseason. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Frank Signetti Field here at George P. Miller Stadium for today's 16th annual Coal Bowl. My name is Hunter Garman, and joined with me is my good friend Adam Crawford. Adam, how are we doing on this fine October afternoon?
You can definitely tell in the air it's football weather. We're creeping into late October, and both these teams, as you said, are really fighting for their playoff lives. A lot at stake here in this game today. IUP coming in, winners of 4 of their last 5, coming off a tough loss against Slippery Rock last week, and California coming off a thrilling win on one of the last plays of the game on homecoming against Clarion. And both these teams, two of the top teams in the PSAC West, and it should be a really, really good contest on hand for today.
Yeah, as I said, both these teams always know how to put on a show. The last couple meetings between these two teams have been just absolutely electric. We've had overtime wins, we've had block kicks, we even had false starts that led to time run off to seal the game up. And so these two teams know how to play a really, really good and heartfelt game. And right now, these teams seem evenly matched. I mean, the records are pretty close, but overall, it seems that just on paper, the roster of IUP is overall better. But California, I mean, led by head coach Gary Dunn, has just been amazing at trying to make something out of what seems like nothing half the time.
Yeah, Coach Dunn has done a really good job with the key injuries that this team has had this season. The first one to note, Bobby Boyd, the star running back for California, going down earlier this season. Grant Hopple has been in and out of the lineup. He is inactive again today, the middle linebacker for California. So a lot of depth pieces having to step up, but Coach Dunn has done a good job of keeping this team where it needs to be to keep their playoff hopes alive. And on the IUP side, their offense is hot and their defense is stingy, so it should be a really good contest.
California did win the toss and has elected to defer to the second half. Bolin will kick it off. And we are underway here at Indiana for the Coal Bowl. Fielded back at the goal line is number 2, Ian Agamacher. And he's tackled, that was Devin Whitlock on the return. And IUP will set up 1st and 10 all the way back into their own territory.
This Indiana offense has kind of been run through. Number 9, the quarterback, Matthew Reeve, the 6'5" grad student. He has been one of the most efficient quarterbacks in all of college football this season.
It's going to be a handoff to start. IUP has had some trouble running the football all season. They're definitely more of a pass-heavy team, as that goes for a couple yards. I believe Banks was the ball carrier. Courtney Dunn was on the stop. It's going to be 2nd and 7 from their own 17. Another handoff again, this time on the end around. That was Devin Whitlock.
Yeah, just a little touch pass, trying to get one of their playmakers in motion on the edge. California does a nice job of getting to the sideline and not letting Whitlock get the edge.
One thing you'll see on this California team, number 2 for California, that is actually Malachi Thomas, as Jeff Nyamache still injured but did not travel today. So number 2 is going to be linebacker Malachi Thomas for California. He is currently has gone to the sideline. And one thing that I was told here by our advisor, Gary Smith, is that this team for California will be tested in secondary, as this team is very pass heavy. Speaking of back to pass, that was a little bit low and away. And that was intended for Maurice Massey, was incomplete, and California will force a punt and try and get the ball back with decent field position, as Deontay Williams is back at his own 45 currently.
California that time drops into zone coverage, and Massey streaking over the middle. Reeve was expecting him to sit down in the zone, throwing that ball a little bit low and behind him.
Punt is away, a nice high spiraler. Williams back, makes one man miss and is up past the 50. Williams gets knocked down a little bit there. So California will get excellent field position in positive territory as they look to be about the IUP 49. And that's where the Vulcans will start.
The punt returner that time, Deontay Williams. We saw him last week against Clarion take that game-winning touchdown reception with 2 seconds left to best Clarion on homecoming.
4 receivers set here for California. Man in motion, that's Amir Spencer. Hill is going to hand off to Agnor. Agnor cuts it up the right side, and Agnor able to force his way up for maybe a gain of about 7 or 8.
Yeah, California for most of the season was lacking a bit of rhythm on offense, but since the quarterback change, bringing in Peyton Hill over Roman Purcell, this running game has gotten going a little bit, become a lot more balanced. Kendrick Agnor has had a good couple games here down the stretch.
2nd down and 3 from the 42. Hill fires to the sideline, caught by Johnson. Johnson able to get the first down marker and a bit more as they move the sticks.
And Diave Johnson on the reception on the out route there. He's been pretty quiet as far as a number 1 receiver in an offense goes this season, but other guys stepping up, being able to fill some roles, as Johnson has been drawing some double coverage most of this season. Caught a touchdown last week, hoping to get him going in this one.
It's going to be a handoff to Agnor. Agnor just kind of runs it up the middle, gets a couple, maybe 4 or 5, before being brought down.
And that'll really be the key to determining how California is going to be able to play offense and move the football in this one, is how well they're going to be able to move the ball on the ground and make Peyton Hill's job a lot easier standing in the pocket and delivering the football.
2nd down and 7. Hill back to pass. Hill has to just get rid of it. Caught by Williams. Williams able to get a couple of yards. Hill got hit pretty hard as he delivered the pass, but he's back up on his feet like nothing happened. It's going to be 3rd down and maybe 1 or 2. 3rd and 3, excuse me, for California. California looking to make a statement here if they can get this 1st down and even score, get the first points of this Coal Bowl matchup. Three receivers set, 2 to the far side, 1 to the near. Hill looks for Williams, has his man. Williams able to break free, but stumbling a little bit, but he has the 1st down, and he will move the sticks.
Yeah, the elusive Deontay Williams, just a little hook route over the middle. Some coaches call that a spot route. If the quarterback recognizes the pressure coming, it'll just be a quick couple steps and stop. Peyton Hill does a nice job getting rid of it quickly, letting the elusive Williams pick up the 1st down.
1st and goal from the 10. California looking to cap off this drive. Hill with the back shoulder, caught by Spencer. Be brought down at about the maybe 4-yard line.
Yeah, that time Amir Spencer from the slot runs it out, and if Peyton Hill is able to put that on his lead shoulder, and throw it away from the defender. Amir Spencer might have been able to walk in for a touchdown, but had to slow up just a step and haul that one in.
2nd down and 1. Handoff to Agnor, who gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage, or maybe a yard. It's going to be 1st and goal from the 1-yard line.
Yeah, we've seen California in a lot of these 1-yard situations run that quarterback sneak, lining up in the gun here, but they have motion a tight end under center to run that tush-push type play.
1st and goal from the 1. Hill's going to keep it himself, leaping for the end zone. And the touchdown. California makes the statement first, capping off a 49-yard drive with the score.
Really efficient drive to open up for California. Phaeton Hill with a little play fake to Agenor and keeps it himself, leaps over a tackler into the end zone, and that's the kind of statement you wanted to make early. Defense comes out, gets a stop, you get the ball on the plus side of the 50-yard line and march down the field for a touchdown.
Radcliffe's kick for the extra point is up, and it is good. The score, 7-0 California early in the first quarter. You're watching the 16th Annual Coal Bowl right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Digital Network. We'll be right back.
Fall is back, and so is Vulcan football. Follow the Vulcans every step of the way during the 2025 regular season. The season kicks off with a Thursday night clash versus Charleston. Then home September 13th versus Westchester. Home September 26th versus Lock Haven. September 27th at Slippery Rock. October 4th at home versus Seton Hill. October 11th at Edinburgh. Homecoming October 18th versus Clarion. At IUP October 25th. Home versus Frostburg State on November 1st. At Gannon November 8th. And the season finale at Shippensburg November 15th. Follow Cal Vulcans and CUTV for live links, highlights, and much more.
After a defensive stop from California and a 49-yard drive to go up 7-0, California finds himself in a lead, giving the ball back to IUP as Whitlock makes the grab. Whitlock able to cut it upfield. Whitlock able to break free, has some speed, trying to be one man, and he is up, still on his feet, and rolling down to about the 32, 33-yard line. Actually, they're going to mark him out at about the 37. And IUP will take over after an excellent return by Devin Whitlock.
Yeah, that's a good response from IUP's special teams unit. Able to give their offense good field position, looking for a response drive, get some points on the board.
California made one stop. We'll see if they can make another one here. 1st and 10, Crimson Hawks from the 37. Reeve going to hand it off. Up the middle goes Tavion Banks. And he'll get maybe 8 yards for a 2nd down and 2 at about the 30.
And Tavion Banks, a real solid running back for IUP's offense. Able to balance the workload for the quarterback, Matthew Reeve. And with such a good running back in the backfield for IUP, the California defense is going to have their hands full down Grant Hopple. Sam Hobbs, the middle linebacker, is going to have a tough time today.
Banks again, cutting it upfield. Big hit delivered by Sangster, but Banks able to hold on and get IUP the 1st down and moving the chains.
The safety, Alexi Sangster, coming down to help make the stop after Banks picks up a 1st down. Sangster leading the team in tackles and interceptions. He's been the defensive MVP so far this season for California.
1st down and 10 from the 25. IUP looking to get on the board. Reeve fires over the middle. Pass is caught. And Down to about the 12, maybe 11-yard line is number 80, Jeremiah Coleman. He moves the chains, and now IUP knocking on the doorstep of a touchdown.
Yeah, Coleman didn't come into the season as one of the top receiving threats for Indiana. These last couple games, he's really emerged as a receiving threat, especially down here in the red zone inside the 20-yard line. He got a couple touchdowns to go with it.
Reeve back to pass again. Has his man down to about the 4. Maurice Massey with the catch. It'll be second down and about 1 or 2 from the 9. Or, excuse me, from the 4. Second and 2 from the 4. Reeve under center. Different face at running back in the backfield. Man in motion. Going to be a little pitch to him. And brought down at around the line to gain is number 32, Leon Parson. And it'll be a gain of 1. It'll be third down and 1 from about the 3. California trying to keep a hold of that bend, don't break mentality, as they've had a bunch of times here this season so far, looking to keep the Crimson Hawks out of the end zone. A couple of receivers set to the far side, one to the near. Parsons still the running back. Reeve going to hand to him. Parsons into the end zone for the touchdown. Crimson Hawks respond.
Good drive by IUP there, mainly on the ground, doing most of the damage. And this Indiana offensive line, this massive offensive line for Indiana, getting a good push into the end zone, giving Parson enough room.
Nick Andressy to attempt the extra point for the Crimson Hawks. It's a good snap, good hold, kick is up, and it is good. We are all tied up here in Indiana, Pennsylvania. You're watching the 16th annual Coal Bowl here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, the PSAC Digital Network. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference celebrates its 75th season in 2025 to 26, highlighting the many athletic achievements of its membership institutions. The PSAC has won 59 national team titles, 310 individual titles, produced 29 all-time Olympians, and 43 former PSAC players and coaches have been elected to National Halls of Fame. PSAC proud for 75 years and many more to come.
And after a quick drive, IUP able to respond. 7-7 the score here in Indiana, Pennsylvania. Welcome back to Frank Signetti Field at George P. Miller Stadium. We're getting ready to kick off here. Andressy about to kick it away for the Crimson Hawks. Williams and Johnson back deep to receive. Kick is underway. It's going to be fielded by Williams. Williams is up to the 20, up to the 25. The 30, and Williams brought down at around the 35-yard line, maybe the 34. And that's where California will start their drive. See on the screen, we'll take a look at the leaders for California.
Yeah, as I mentioned on the last IUP offensive drive, Alexi Sangster leading the team defensively. And the aforementioned Malachi Thomas with the number change. He's been a threat on the defensive line along with Cedric Vesa. Kendrick Aganor and Peyton Hill have really done a good job of keeping this offense balanced these last couple weeks.
Hill's going to start with a quick pass to Lewis. Lewis, the shifty returner, up breaks a couple of tackles. Flag flies from the secondary, and Lewis able to get about 6, maybe 7 yards.
I was hoping you were going to stay away from that, but
I mean, about 6 or 7 yards.
It was about. Yeah, you
can't really.
You did have it right. The referees are going to get Denari Clax the safety for a face mask. Excuse me, they call it on Mekhi Johnson, the redshirt freshman.
That is a costly penalty for the Crimson Hawks as that moves it another 15 yards from the end of Kenny Lewis's run. And it'll be a Vulcan first down from the IUP 43. So sort of excellent starting position for California as Lewis and Williams switch spots over on the far side. Handoff to Agnor, who cuts it up the left side, and Agnor just kind of rumbles maybe just back to the line of scrimmage. Number 44 onto the tackle. And there's an injured player for IUP down on the field. That's number 68, Naeem Dominic. They're going to take a look at him.
As I mentioned in the open, this stingy Indiana defense allowing fewer than 80 yards a game on the ground, which is why it's going to be so important to keep this offense for California, if you're on their side, two-dimensional and be able to get Agenor rolling on the ground. Try to get these linebackers to come up and open up some space in behind them for Phaeton Hill to deliver the football.
While we have a minute, we're going to take a look at the schedule for October 25th. Obviously, we have the Coal Bowl here. At noon was Edinburgh, Gannon, Kutztown, Westchester, Bloomsburg, Millersville, and East Stroudsburg and Shepherd. And 1 p.m. was Lock Haven and Shippensburg. And I couldn't tell right away as we had to get rid of the graphic as we're getting back into it, but Clarion was also playing at 1 p.m. as well. But second and 10, Hill was under some pressure, has to get rid of it, and that falls incomplete for Williams. Hill got blown up on that play, but he gets up. That's going to be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Phaeton Hill trying to maneuver the pocket. It just collapsed on him, and he had nowhere to evade the pressure as he tries a little jump throw to get it to his receiver, Deontay Williams, on an in-breaking route. Just a little bit too low for the wide receiver to handle.
3rd and 10 from the 43. 4 receivers set, 3 to the far, 1 to the near. Agnor the back, and that's going to be a false start on Williams, and that'll push him back another 5 yards.
Facing such a tough defense, those are the kind of penalties that you really want to stay away from, especially on 3rd down. These 3rd and long situations are going to have to be something that California shies away from in this game if they want to be efficient on offense.
3rd down and 15 now, as Cal's dealing with crowd noise and a passing train. Four receivers set again, 3 to the far. Train horn blares. Going to be a dump off to Agnor. Agnor able to cut it upfield, and Agnor gets hit, but not after getting the first down. And California will move the sticks.
That is an excellent read from the quarterback, Phaeton Hill. He sees all of the pressure that was shown from IUP back off into zone coverage, just finds his outlet, Kendrick Agenor, not forcing anything downfield, and Agenor had plenty of room to work with, able to pick up the first down.
It's a nice play by California, fighting through the crowd noise, through the train horns, through everything, getting the first down. And it's 1st and 10 from the 30. 3:45 and counting left in this first quarter. Johnson in motion. Going to be a fake handoff to Agnor, and Williams is able to cut it upfield, and Williams gets maybe a couple yards. About 7, maybe 8. And another injured Crimson Hawk. That's number 94, Rashawn Huff. Or excuse me, not Rashawn Huff. It's going to be Terrell Williams, excuse me. I was looking at the wrong roster sheet. They're going to take a look at him.
Yeah, not a good sign early, seeing two defensive linemen for IUP go down for this stout defense. Looks like the earlier injury to Monsieur Mayo is not too serious, as we saw him aiding Williams off the field.
Second and 2 from the 22. Lewis in motion. A low snap, and they're going to throw it to Williams, and Williams has some open field, gets hit hard, and brought down beyond the first down marker, and it's going to be another first down for this Vulcan offense.
I like the rhythm I'm seeing early out of this California offense. Just these quick, simple throws that are keeping Indiana guessing. And these short throws, these screens and swing passes, it's just an extension of the run game. If you're not getting a push up front on the offensive line, it's just a nice, easy couple yards. Keep the offense on schedule.
Hill back to pass again. Has Johnson nearly hauls that one in, but able to be knocked away. But there is a flag down as Hill got hit pretty hard. They might get a rough in the passer call. Johnson with the almost insane catch. And they are going to get an unnecessary hit on the quarterback. And that's going to create another first down for this Vulcan offense.
2 personal foul penalties on this drive for Indiana's defense, and in a game that we're expecting to be as tight as we come to expect out of these two teams. Those are the kind of penalties that can change a game over the course of 60 minutes.
First and goal from the 8. 3 receivers set, 2 to the near, 1 to the far. Rowan Hershey in motion. They're going to hand off to Agnor, who tries the right side, and Agnor able to rumble his way down to about maybe the 4, maybe the 3. Right now, California showing very efficient offense, as you said, similar to what we saw in glimpses during the game, their homecoming game against Clarion.
And that's been a theme for California all season, starting really well, and then once you get to about the middle of the game, into the third quarter, the offense is kind of stalled out at times, helping other teams get back into football games. But you got to like what you're seeing here early from California, and as long as they can sustain this kind of pressure on this Indiana defense, keep chewing that clock, they're going to like the result at the end of it.
California with their first charge timeout of the half. Coach probably didn't like what he saw offensively. So far, California just showing their efficiency. As we've said, there was flashes of it before, but it seems that when Peyton Hill came in as the starter, that there was something happened in that locker room that really changed the way that this team kind of flowed dynamically.
Yeah, you see that sometimes with coaching changes. It's not necessarily the person who gets demoted's fault. It's more of sending a message to the rest of the locker room as a wake-up call, saying, hey, everybody needs to do their jobs better to put these people in positions to win. And unfortunately, Roman Purcell just struggled a couple games in a row, and Peyton Hill took over, and he's done an excellent job.
It's going to be an end-around handoff to Lewis, who blasts his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And California back on top.
Yeah, another extension of the run game, these jet sweeps and touch passes. That time, Lewis gets the end around and able to turn the corner and bulldoze his way across the goal line.
Harry Radcliffe on to attempt the extra point to make it a 7-point game. Kick is up, and it is good. 14-7 to score here in Indiana, Pennsylvania. You're watching the 16th annual Coal Bowl right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, the PSAC Digital Network. We'll be right back.
The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference celebrates its 75th season in 2025 to 26 and has been a leader in academics and community service throughout the decades. The PSAC is a consistent national leader in academic success rate, federal graduation rate, academic All-America awards, and is annually among the leaders in Make-A-Wish Foundation donations. PSAC proud for 75 years and many more to come.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Frank Signetti Field at George P. Miller Stadium. California up 14-7 after the end-around score from Kenny Lewis IV. Boland to kick it off. Back to receive is Whitlock. Whitlock makes a cut up the field. Whitlock able to stay in bounds, but then gets wrestled out at about the 32 or 3. While we have a minute, you can look at the screen and the IUP leaders are on the field. There is a flag down at about the Vulcan 41.
As I mentioned earlier, this offense runs through the quarterback, Matthew Reeve. Reeve's going to keep this IUP team in this game no matter what the score is. Leads all of college football no matter the division in passing efficiency rating.
Reeve back to pass. Is going to look for his man, and a nice diving effort there. Makes the catch. Number 80, Jeremiah Coleman.
Yeah, Coleman again emerging as one of the top receiving threats in this Indiana offense, and a fun little nugget on the quarterback Matthew Reeve, his cousin, former NFL quarterback Matthew Hasselback, formerly of the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, him and Tim look so much alike. I always forget which one played for who, but yeah. Matthew, former Seahawks quarterback.
Be a little trickery here. Handoff to Parson, who rumbles his way forward for about maybe 8. It's going to be second down and 2.
And Parson gets the give that time as Banks checks back into the game. Parson, the quicker of the two backs, a little bit smaller than the 5'10", 205 Tavion Banks.
Second down and 2 from the Vulcan 35. It's going to be a handoff to Banks, but met instantly in the backfield and brought down for a big loss. Number 99, Keith Spell, in there for California, lowering the boom. That's going to be 3rd and 4 as that goes for a loss of 2.
And Cedric Vesa also in on the stop.
It's going to be the end of the first quarter. The score 14-7. We got some second quarter action right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, the PSAC Digital Network. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Fall is back, and so is Vulcan football. Follow the Vulcans every step of the way during the 2025 regular season. The season kicks off with a Thursday night clash versus Charleston. Then home September 13th versus Westchester. Home September 26th versus Lock Haven. September 27th at Slippery Rock. October 4th at home versus Seton Hill. October 11th at Edinburgh. Homecoming October 18th versus Clarion. At IUP October 25th. Home versus Frostburg State on November 1st. At Gannon November 8th. And the season finale at Shippensburg November 15th. Follow Cal Vulcans and CUTV for live links, highlights, and much more.
First quarter has come and gone here in Indiana, Pennsylvania. The score 14-7 in favor of the Vulcans here at the 16th annual Coal Bowl. As always, Hunter Garman and Adam Crawford. And so far, it's been mostly California this game.
Yeah, California, the better team on the ground so far in this one, and able to chew up a lot of clock in that first quarter. The big kick return for Indiana set up that scoring drive for them, and they're on the march here again.
It's going to be 3rd down and 4 from the 37 after the tackle for loss by Keith Spell. It's going to be a little trickery as Banks gets the football, and Banks working his way up to maybe for a gain of 3. It's going to be, I believe, 4th down and 1.
And the offense looking to stay on the field here for IUP, and they're looking for a little bit of trickery, trying to get these linebackers flowing one way and then send the play back the other. But good job staying disciplined from California, forcing this 4th and short.
Big 4th down here for both teams. It's going to be handoff again. And up the middle goes Banks, and he will get, I believe, the line to gain, and it will be a Crimson Hawk first down.
A simple give to Banks, and he was met in the backfield, but he fell forward, and he got just the 1 yard that he needed for the first down.
So the IUP offense able to keep their footing here early in the second. 1st and 10 from the 32, looking to respond back to California. Man in motion. Direct to Reeve, who looks back, fires over the middle. The pass is caught. A nice diving effort again. Who else? Coleman for another Crimson Hawk first down, and IUP looking to strike back.
Yeah, Coleman lined up in the slot that time, runs a 10-yard in, a dig route over the middle, and nobody stayed with him for California in zone coverage. A good ball by Reeves and a good catch by Coleman again.
Another chunk play sets up yet another first down, this time from the 16 for IUP. Parson the back. 3 receivers set, 2 to the near, 1 to the far. Banks moves up to Reeves' right, gets the handoff. Parson able to cut it upfield. Parson gets met after a gain of maybe 2 or 3. Khalil Taylor in on the stop. It's going to be 2nd down and about 6 from the 12.
Yeah, that was a good tackle that time by Khalil Taylor in open space as he collapsed down on that edge. Parson was looking to break it outside, and if he got outside of Taylor, there was nobody between him and the end zone.
2nd and 7 from the 12. Parson's still the back. They're going to give it to him. Parson on the outside, trying to try the edge, and gets pushed out maybe 2 yards short of the end zone. It's going to be another first down, but 1st and goal from the 2.
A simple swing pass out that time to Parson out in the flat, and good downfield blocking by the IUP receivers gave Parson plenty of room to pick up that first.
First and goal from the 3. IUP looking to strike back again and keep this game tied up. Banks now the back. Reeve rolling to his right, trying to find somebody. Reeve is going to take it himself and gets tackled instantly. Maybe just back to the original line of scrimmage. If not, maybe lost a yard. Regardless, doesn't really get anything. It's going to be 2nd down and 4, so they say he does lose a yard. So it will go down as a sack. And it'll be 2nd and 4 from the 4.
And that time IUP calls a quarterback sprint out, and Reeve had Whitlock in the end zone in the flat initially, but didn't deliver it to him.
Handoff to Banks, trying that left side, and met instantly, I believe, for another loss. It's going to be 3rd and 5 from the 5. I believe Charney and Huff were in on the stop that time. California looking to hold IUP out of the end zone, maybe even to a field goal, but I will preface, we learned today that California is the best field goal blocking team out of all football. That's Division II, Division I, and even the NFL. So California really, really dominant in blocking kicks, and we'll see if they can hold them to one here. Reeve looking for Whitlock, has him wide open in the end zone, and they're going to say he's in. Touchdown, Crimson Hawks.
And that time, Whitlock out of the slot runs the corner route, and the cornerback for California, Maury Thompson, doesn't drop back, doesn't see him heading towards his zone, doesn't drop back with him, and a good ball that time by Reeve. Lets Whitlock go high point it, and good job getting the feet down in bounds for the IUP touchdown.
Andrew C. to tie the game back up at 14. Good snap, good hold, kick is up, and it is high, but it is good. 14-14 the score, 10-15 left in this first half. You're watching the Coal Bowl right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, the PSAC Digital Network. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference celebrates its 75th season in 2025-26, highlighting the many athletic achievements of its membership institutions. The PSAC has won 59 national team titles, 310 individual titles, produced 29 all-time Olympians, and 43 former PSAC players and coaches have been elected to National Halls of Fame. PSAC proud for 75 years and many more to come.
Helps if I put my microphone down. 14-14 the score here in Indiana. Pennsylvania 10-15 left as we get back underway here. Ball fielded by Williams about his own 5. Williams able to cut it upfield, has a gap, but met real quick, and you could tell he wants that one back.
Yeah, this is the second time already in this game that Williams might have had something if he didn't lose his footing. So that might be something to keep of note here as this game moves along, but another good return by the dangerous Deontay Williams.
He has the speed, he has the elusiveness to go all the way, and while we have a minute, you can take a look at the PSAC West standings. Pretty tight here going into about the middle towards the end of the season. Again, as we said before in the open, these two teams fighting for their playoff hopes, as a loss for both of these teams will knock them out of essentially the championship contention. Hill, back to pass, has Johnson nearly intercepted. Number 7, Noah Johnston was back there, nearly had the pick, but able to just tip it away as Hill was looking for Johnson.
Yeah, that time Deave Johnson running a comeback route on the outside, and Johnston, the corner in coverage, just read Peyton Hill. He was looking at his receiver, the entire time. Johnson does a good job of recognizing that, dropping back and getting a hand on that football.
2nd down and 10 from the 30. Handoff this time to Craiget, who maybe gains 1. So, looks like they're going to give them maybe about half a yard, give or take. So 3rd down and 9, 3rd and 10, whatever you want to call it. Regardless, 3rd and long here for California. They've converted on 1 long 3rd down. We'll see if they can try and do it again.
Yeah, California's been good so far on 3rd downs in this game, and that's not something they've been able to say all season long, but these 3rd and longs are tough.
A little bit of a botched snap as Hill looks deep, and a little bit of hand fighting and stuff there as he was looking for Johnson, and IUP able to force a 3 and out. And the Vulcans, for the first time this game, will punt it away.
That time Johnson going up the sideline, him and the cornerback Johnston in coverage just kind of ran into each other. That incidental contact forcing them both to fall down. Good no call there from the official.
Yeah, we can hear that the IUP sideline wanted a flag. Doesn't get it, as you said. Both kind of just made each other fall, so good no call there. As Gonzalez will punt it away. Nice high kick. Will take a nice IUP bounce, but able to be hauled in. I believe that was Tyler Long who hauled it in there for California. And it will be Crimson Hawk football from the 38. So IUP's defense gets a stop, forcing the turnover on downs. Well, forcing California to punt it away. So IUP now looking to try and capitalize on this and punch in another score before the end of the half. Reeves, play fake, caught by Whitlock. Whitlock up the field. Whitlock has plenty of space and a couple of blockers, and Whitlock just kind of runs out of bounds at about the Vulcan 35, maybe 36 yard line. And that's one thing we prefaced before. This Crimson Hawk offense through the air is very, very efficient, and it will truly test this California secondary that hasn't been tested too much so far this season.
Yeah, Reeve, not a real mobile quarterback calling his own number, but he will move around in the pocket and roll out and find his open man downfield.
Reeve back to pass again, steps into it, has to just kind of scramble, and Reeve, as you said, showing off the wheels, and Reeve able to get the first down and a lot more as he gets run out of bounds, but not before gaining a Crimson Hawk first down.
Yeah, that time, of course, as soon as I say he doesn't use his legs much, he takes off and scrambles there. And good decision that time as he rolled out to his left, and there was nobody for California over there to stop him. So good job by Reeves, able to move the chains.
He must have heard your voice over the wind and decided he was going to take it himself.
Yeah, had to show me up.
Had to prove you wrong. 1st and 10 from the California 26. California looking to just find some kind of stop here. That's Parson now the back. 2 receivers, 1 on either side. Handoff to Parson, who cuts it up the middle. Makes a little bit of a move and gains maybe 3 or 4. Could be 5. It's going to be actually a gain of 3, so 2nd down and 7. Parsons still the back for IUP. Reeve back to pass. Just dumps it over the middle to Whitlock. Whitlock able to make a man miss, showing off the wheels, and Whitlock gets tackled out of bounds, but after gaining an IUP first down.
Yeah, Whitlock with exceptional speed, showing it off again, that time going all the way across the field after the reception, able to make a couple California defenders miss, and that's where the mismatch is in the eyes of the Crimson Hawk coaches. and offensive coordinator Frank Signetti Jr., the speed from this wide receiver group is outmatching the speed from California defensively, and they're going to try to take advantage of that.
First and goal from the 7. IUP looking to jump ahead here for the first time. Parson able to keep his balance and rumbles into the end zone for the touchdown, and IUP jumps ahead.
Parsons looked real efficient so far in this game, and that time able to break a couple tackles, and another good push from IUP up front, giving them a little bit of a lane, and Parson does the rest.
Andressy on to attempt the extra point to make it a 7-point game in favor of IUP with 6:27 remaining in the first half. Good snap, good hold. Kicky is up, and it is good. 21-14 the score in favor of IUP this time. You're watching the Coal Bowl right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, the PSAC Digital Network. We will be right back. After the rumble into the end zone by Parson, IUP now finds himself up 7. And now California finds himself down. Andressy to kick it away. Johnson and Williams back to receive. The kick is underway in the direction of Williams, who fields it at about his own 4 or 5, maybe 6, and gets tackled there. Great pursuit by the Crimson Hawks special teams, and California will have a long field to go to tie this game up again.
Yeah, California's going to have to get back to running that football well, like they did on their first couple drives. IUP with a good counterpunch on the last defensive possession, able to hold California on the ground, and Peyton Hill unable to connect with Johnson a couple times, and that was all to show for that last California drive offensively.
A little bit of a heavier package on offense for California as Lehue lines up in the back as well. They're going to hand off to Agnor. Agnor gets a couple of blocks and kind of rumbles and falls his way for a gain of maybe 7.
That time, good push on the right side of that offensive line. Gray and Ortiz able to move a couple of bodies up front, and then you had Lehue coming behind them, pulling around and getting in front of Agnor, giving it a little bit of room to work with.
2nd and 2. Hill's going to keep it himself. Hill just kind of dives for the first down. I believe he will get there, and it will be a Vulcan first down. So a little bit of a designed QB run, and Hill kind of just diving for it.
And that's been the big difference between Peyton Hill and the quarterback who started the season for California, Roman Purcell. Hill not really using his legs nearly as much as Purcell. Purcell was dangerous on the ground, but Peyton Hill will take advantage if it's given there.
Agnor again, the ball carrier. We'll take it for another good gain of about 6. Actually going to be a gain of 5. So 2nd and 5 from the 38. California looking to strike back to IUP's counterpunch. 4:40 and counting here in the second half. Second and 5 Williams in motion. They're going to give it a little bit of a flea flicker action, and Hill unloads it deep for Williams, but he is out of bounds, and it was a good look and a good play, but Williams just a little bit too far out of bounds. And
yeah, California that time got the look that they wanted on that flea flicker. IUP was in zone. Everybody came up to support the run, and that time Agador pitches it back, and they had Williams wide open on the right side, just thrown a little bit too far toward the boundary that time by Phaeton Hill.
3rd down and 5. Hill back to pass, looking over the middle. Pass is caught by Williams and trying to fight for some extra yardage. He gets just enough for the first down. And California will move the sticks and keep this drive alive.
Hey, you could tell Williams on that last play on that failed flea flicker attempt, he was frustrated that he couldn't keep his feet in bounds, and that time he took some aggression out after making that really nice extended catch, dragging a couple IUP defenders with him for a first down.
Spencer in motion for California. Be a handoff again to Agnor. And just maybe a couple yards. Maybe 1 or 2. It'll be a gain of 1. 2nd and 9 from the 45. Wide look now for California, 2 receivers either side. Hill looking, under a bit of pressure, just escapes through the pocket. Makes one man miss with a spin move, but doesn't get much more than that as he gets brought down by Nathan Rosario Santos on the tackle. Wasn't fooled by Purcell's spin move and able to bring him down for a gain of just 1.
Yeah, Rosario Santos on the tackle that time. One of the big physical linebackers for Indiana, 6'2", 215 pounds.
Hill, a little bit of miscommunication there as that pass sails wide of Kenny Lewis. And California will be forced to punt it away again.
Yeah, just a couple yards too many to take the risk here around midfield to go for it on 4th down. Coach Dunn trusting his defense to keep this a one-possession game.
Gonzalez to punt it away. Kalen Frazier back to receive for the Crimson Hawks. Bit of a low snap, but Gonzalez able to get it away. Frazier, fair catch called for and made at about the 17, 18-yard line, and that's where IUP will start their drive. 2 minutes and 14 seconds remaining in the first half. It's been an exciting game so far. We've had defense, we've had offense, we've had some gadget plays, and we've pretty much had it all here so far this first half.
Yeah, even a couple nice kick returns on special teams getting in the mix, and this is pretty much exactly what we expected in this first half. Maybe not the total points that we were expecting, but definitely the back and forth that we were coming into this one looking for.
1st and 10 from the 18. Reeves, pass. Under pressure, just has to dump it away to Whitlock, and that hits the ground. And Reeves gets leveled by Huff, who is in pursuit. It's going to be 2nd and 10. 2:09 remaining in the first half.
Yeah, good coverage that time downfield from California on the back end, giving Reeves really nowhere to go with the football, and that time just kind of short-armed that throw out to Whitlock in the flat.
Second down and 10. for Reeve. Just has to step up through, and Reeve tackled down just at about the line of scrimmage, if not maybe a loss of 1. Josh Huff again. Big number 96 in there on the stop.
We're seeing a little bit of tempers flaring as the 2-minute timeout is reached.
We can take another minute look at the PSAC West standings. As you saw, tempers flaring a little bit there, some pushing and shoving going on after the play. And I mean, this rivalry, as I said in the open, goes back over 100 years. 1918, I believe, was the first time these two teams squared off. These two teams have been at it for so long, and the Coal Bowl just kind of adds that extra bit of flair to it, I guess you could say, because at the end you get a trophy, you get recognized as the winning team, and even here, these two teams now, there's an even another layer to it as both these teams are fighting to keep their hopes alive at the championship and even a run to the playoffs if they can get the circumstances to do so. And so, understandably so, tempers are high here at Indiana.
Yeah, both teams really familiar with each other. Coach Dunn has done a good job at getting this California team the respect that he feels that they deserve, and Coach Paul Tortorella, been around a couple of years now on the IUP side. A lot of respect from both these sides, but also no love lost as both teams trying to make a statement here towards the end of the season, hopefully for one of these teams heading into the postseason.
Yeah, Coach Dunn in his 10th season, Tortella in his 8th, I believe. 3rd down and 11, 2 minutes remaining in the first half. California looking to make a statement stop here. Crowd getting into it. Whistle blown. And they're going to get a false start. That's going to be the tight end, Connor Chamonix, on the false start, and that'll push IUP back even further. Now, 3rd and 16. The crowd seriously getting into it here now. Pinned deep in their own end zone. We've seen Cal force turnovers, and if this is any time for a turnover for California, it's right here and right now. Reeve, back to pass. Under a little bit of pressure, just has to get it away. And intercepted! Keith Charney down the sideline, and he will rumble his way to about the 6-yard line. Some people believe in the announcer curse, and as I said before, Reeve under pressure, have to get rid of it, and Charney, right place, right time, making the interception. And California, insanely favorable position to tie it up here at the end of the half.
Yeah, I think one of the best words to describe this California defense all season long is opportunistic. They get relentless in the big moments, and that time the pass rush got after Reeve, forced him to get on the move, tried to make a throw back across his body toward the middle of the field, just left it high, and Charney does a great job at staying in the right position and setting up California inside the IUP 10-yard line.
1st and goal from the 6. 4 receivers set. Hill fires. Back shoulder for Williams. Incomplete. Great coverage on the back end. Number 15, Denari Clacks in coverage. Keeping it alive for IUP for the time being.
Yeah, similar play to the Whitlock touchdown for IUP. That time Williams running a corner, and Clacks, the safety, staying with him in man coverage, was beat initially, but does a great job not giving up on the play and breaking it up.
Hill is going to keep it himself. Hill trying to push his way in, but met instantly and pushed back after a gain of maybe 2. And a little bit of extras after the fact, and Hill tad slow to get up, but he looks okay. And for California, that's a huge sigh of relief.
Yeah, that time Hill brought down on top of the guy who tackled him, linebacker Tadon Strickland for IUP, and Strickland didn't really like the the duration that Phaeton Hill was laying on him, trying to look for somebody to help him up.
Two receivers bunched to the near side. That's Johnson and Williams. Hill looking, fires over the middle, broken up and nearly picked, but a flag is thrown. It's going to be a flag thrown for a hold against California, and that will march California backwards. They're going to get 57. Nassim Gray, the right guard, on the hold, and California will have to settle for 3. So a statement stop by this IUP Crimson Hawks defense, forcing California to take a field goal. Radcliffe to bring it within a 4-point game. It's a good snap. It's a good hold. The kick is up, and it is good. 21-17 the score. 56 seconds left. We're going to keep it here. And it's been like a minute, and it's been wild ever since.
Yeah, coming out of that 2-minute timeout, we're waiting for IUP to hit a couple chunk plays and move their way down the field, try to make this a 2-possession game, and a great job by the California defense not allowing that to happen and forcing the turnover. But again, a good response from Indiana's defense, keeping California out of the end zone and holding on to that lead as there's still 56 seconds left in this first half. And IUP looking to get at least a field goal here heading into the half, as California will receive the opening kickoff of the second half. Their kicker, Nick Andrassi, going in this direction in pregame warm-ups, was good from about 52 yards. But as we mentioned earlier, the block kicks being a theme for California on the special teams unit, the kicks did look a little low from that range. So if they line up for a field goal from that range, expect it to be an interesting play.
A little bit of a squibber from Boland and picked up and met instantly. And again, a little bit of some extracurriculars at the end there. Number 41, Ross Gamp on the return.
I do like the referees. We've mentioned a couple times the pushing and shoving after the play. I do like the referees kind of letting them play a little bit. Nothing's really been excessive to this point, just some competitive spirit flying back and forth.
1st and 10 from the 34. Reeve gets it to Whitlock. Whitlock able to make one man miss, but actually loses his footing enough. Great shoestring tackle by Khalil Taylor. And that'll deny a huge chunk play from Whitlock, limiting him only to a gain of about 1. Final 30 seconds and counting here, and IUP looking to maybe let this clock run down. I'm not sure. I mean, they have to get a play off because the play clock and the game clock are about 5 seconds different, and there will be the timeout from IUP.
Yeah, Indiana looks more than comfortable going into the halftime break, making the adjustments they need to hold on to this lead here in the, late in the first half and going into the second half.
15 seconds are left on the clock here for this first half at IUP for the 16th annual Coal Bowl. We said that these two teams put on a show every year, and it's been a show here so far. As I said, we've had a wild series of events that have ended the Coal Bowl in the last 3 or 4 years, give or take. And if this game in the first half has anything to say about it, the second half will be probably the same way.
Yeah, kind of the same message that we had last week in the California Clarion game. Don't expect either team to really pull away in this one. It's going to be close throughout, and it'll depend on who can manage the clock and manage the football better.
Reeves stumbling there, just tries to get it back to gets it to Banks, and Banks was trying to give it back, and a little bit of a botched play call, and that's going to do it for this first half. 21-17 the score here at halftime. Stay tuned for second half action. I will be replaced by our good friend Jonathan Sape. You'll still have Crawford, but tune in for the second half of the 16th annual Coal Bowl right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC Digital Network. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Fall is back, and so is Vulcan football. Follow the Vulcans every step of the way during the 2025 regular season. The season kicks off with a Thursday night clash versus Charleston. Then home September 13th versus Westchester. Home September 26th versus Lock Haven. September 27th at Slippery Rock. October 4th at home versus Seton Hill. October 11th at Edinburgh. Homecoming October 18th versus Clarion. At IUP October 25th. Home versus Frostburg State on November 1st. At Gannon November 8th. And the season finale at Shippensburg November 15th. Follow Cal Vulcans and CUTV for live links, highlights, and much more.
The first half of the 16th annual Cold Bowl has come and gone, and IUP leads 21-17 here at the George P. Miller Stadium. John Sape and Adam Crawford to take you through the second half action. And Adam, it was a pretty back and forth first half. California had their chances to kind of take that lead, but at the end of that first half, they didn't quite make the most of those opportunities.
Yeah, huge turnover at the end of that first half. Keith Charney with a big interception, giving an automatic first and goal for the California offense, but Indiana's defense did an excellent job at holding the fort and making sure that California didn't punch that ball into the end zone to potentially tie this game up. And as we sit right now, 21-17, Indiana will open up the second half on defense, California on offense getting the ball, and California's going to look to take the lead here in the second half to begin.
But that's why we played two halves. There's still half an hour remaining to play here in this contest. Both teams fighting for their PSAC Conference Championship lives here in this game. Like you and Hunter were talking about earlier on in this contest, both teams sitting at 2 losses on the season. IUP with 1 loss in the conference, California with 2. But with a win here today for California, this would pretty much all but guarantee, barring a loss next week, to Gannon a place in the PSAC championship game against Kutztown. But a loss here against IUP would allow the Crimson Hawks to usurp them in the conference and allow them to make that trip over to the east side of the state. So a lot on the line here in this contest on this very frigid fall afternoon here in Indiana.
Yeah, when we pulled into the parking lot here earlier today, the sun was shining and it was pretty warm out here. But since then, right about 10 minutes before kickoff, cloud coverage came over and we haven't seen Mr. Sun in a while, and the temperature has really decreased here over the last hour and a half or so, and that'll be interesting to see how the teams respond to that, holding on to the football and such.
I think this is what they call the perfect football weather. You know, just that real cold, just that sharp bite to the air. Whenever you get hit, you already can feel it, but it gives you that extra sting whenever you get hit on the football field. But both teams will make their way back out onto the field as we get ready for the beginning of the second half. And I was talking to our director, Gary Smith, during that first half as I was on camera, and there was one thing that I noticed, and I don't know how much of a role it played, but I wonder if Coach Dunn had a talk with the referees with the in-stadium noise and the music playing over the PA systems. There was a lot of music being played on these third down situations where California had possession of the ball late in the play clock, and I was surprised that was allowed to go on, because you normally don't see that type of disruption on the field when teams are on their playing. Usually it's in between plays and stuff like that, but when the players are out there set ready to go, most of that distraction's out of the way.
Yeah, a couple times that artificial noise got a little close to the snap from California, but we'll see if there's any adjustments from that. And California did a pretty good job in that first half.
Kick underway, fielded by Williams at the 7-yard line. Brought back past the 20, and Williams has an open lane. Williams past midfield, and Williams has one man to beat, and Williams will take it all the way. Williams into the end zone for the return touchdown. Deontay Williams, 93 yards into the house. Starting off the second half right, Deontay Williams with the return. But there is a flag on the near sideline, an injured Crimson Hawk down. It could be something spoiled. There is a flag right about the 44-yard line, right in front of the Vulcan sideline. Everyone's cheering, so I think the touchdown will stand. So it will just be a sideline warning against California. So the touchdown stands. California retake the lead. It only takes them 14 seconds, a 93-yard return from Deontay Williams.
Yeah, we saw a couple times Deontay Williams real close to breaking away from the pack, just unable to keep his footing that time. Great blocking by the special teams unit, gave him plenty of a lane, and with his speed, it just took that little crease and he was gone.
Such an explosive player with the ball in his hands, and we saw him do something like that last week. Radcliffe with the kick, and his kick is good. 24-21 now the score. Take a quick break, and we'll be right back right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Digital Network.
The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference celebrates its 75th season in 2025-26, highlighting the many athletic achievements of its membership institutions. The PSAC has won 59 national team titles, 310 individual titles, produced 29 all-time Olympians, and 43 former PSAC players and coaches have been elected to National Halls of Fame. PSAC proud for 75 years and many more to come.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the George P. Miller Stadium. And it's kind of a recurring theme on these broadcasts, talking about the importance of special teams, and we see it once again. Deontay Williams, the Magic Man himself, with another phenomenal play. A 93-yard kickoff return for a touchdown to kick off the second half. And California trying not to take their own chances. A squib kick off of the fingertips of Whitlock, and that will fall out of bounds at the 2-yard line. And since it came off of Whitlock's fingers, there will be no kick out of bounds. So IUP will start their first possession of the second half deep within their own territory.
Yeah, as you mentioned, since it went off of Whitlock's fingers, it's ruled as a fumble if it goes out of bounds at that point. And almost a nightmare start for the Crimson Hawks to begin this opening 20 seconds or so of the second half.
So they'll start their first drive from their own 3-yard line, 1st and 10 from the 3. Reevy under center, trying to create some space. Handoff on the first down. Nice positive yardage on the first down run. That was number 8, Tavion Banks on the rush, gained about 8 or 9 on the first down. Second down and 1 now here for IUP.
Yeah, IUP was able to run the ball pretty well in that first half. Coming into the game, we were expecting the quarterback, Matthew Reevy, to really have a say in how IUP moves the ball offensively, but Indiana leaning on that ground game a little bit more than we anticipated.
Second and 1, another handoff, this time a counter, but it looks like Banks will do just enough to pick up the first down. Courtney Dunn in on the stop. They needed to get to the 12, and they got there. So IUP now has the breathing room that they needed. 1st and 10 from their own 12. Three receiver set here for Reevy under center. Play action pass rolling to his right. Pass incomplete. Off of the fingertips of number 6. His intended target falls incomplete. Connor Chamonix.
Yeah, we saw that a couple times in that first half, those bootlegs and the rollout, the design quarterback rollouts in the passing game from IUP, trying to move the pocket, trying to give Reevy a little bit more time. That time just a flat drop by the tight end, Chamonix.
2nd and 10 from the 14. Some motion. Reevy dropping back, looking to throw. Under some pressure. Reevy isn't going to get away. Brought down for the sack. Josh Huff in there to bring him down. Him and Cedric Vesa able to bring him down for a huge loss. Brings up a big third down here for the California defense. 3rd and 17 now for IUP.
Yeah, Reeve was looking for Chamonix again, this time way downfield. And it was just taken away in double coverage, and that time the pocket just condensed and ended up swallowing up. Reeve gave him nowhere to go. Good job by the California pass rush.
3rd and 17. Ball placed on the 7. Reeve looking to throw. Under pressure again, has to get rid of it. Pass incomplete and nearly intercepted. Marvell Cromartie nearly able to pick that one off just right in front of him, but will fall incomplete. And the punting unit now for IUP coming onto the field, and a unit, and this special teams unit for California that is notorious for blocking kicks, and IUP now put into a very dangerous spot.
Yeah, California set up to get some more good field position, and the back end of this secondary has done a really good job at containing the receivers for IUP so far.
Spittler's kick able to get it away. Lewis on the return, but he fumbled the ball, and a pack looking to hop on top of it, and IUP claiming they have it. Waiting for the official signal. Who has the football? Some fighting in the pile-up. And it will be IUP football. Coming out of the pack is number 3, J.D. Younger. Able to come up with the football, and IUP catch a huge break, and they'll reclaim the football. 1st and 10 now from their own 39.
That time California had both Kenny Lewis and Deontay Williams back to receive that punt, and given that Williams just returned a kick for a touchdown, they tried to keep it out of his hands, and a kick that kind of nosedived there on Lewis. He just wasn't able to hold on.
First down pass. Reeve able to find Whitlock over on the far side. Shoved out of bounds by Sangster. And everybody on the Crimson Hawk bench trying to get the referee to throw a flag for a late hit, but nothing called. They will pick up a first down, and now inside of California territory, 1st and 10 from the Vulcan 49.
This game has been really physical to this point, and the referees, as I mentioned in the first half, they're letting them play. They're letting the boys decide this one on the field.
And like we said the last 2 weeks, I hope you don't have anything going on for the next hour or so. And a whistle blown right before the snap was taken as the play clock was winding to 0. And I believe a delay of game penalty against IUP will back him up 5 yards. 1st and 15 now here for the Crimson Hawks.
And not a lot of flags to speak of in that first half, but the couple that were thrown on IUP and this one here early in the second half, just more mental mistakes than anything.
Forward wide receiver set, man in motion, handoff or play action pass caught on the near sideline. Chamonix on the reception, forced out of bounds, a short gain, but a gain nonetheless. Charney in there on the stop. A gain of maybe 1 or 2 on the play.
That's a nice job flowing to the football there from California. Had the safeties and the linebackers both working their way over there. Receivers trying to throw a block, but California able to fight through all that and keep Chamonix to a short gain.
2nd and 13. Ball on the 48. Whitlock in motion. Reeve play action. Reeve able to escape the danger. Able to escape another sack. Reeve trying to sling it past. Incomplete. Intended for Whitlock. The referee said it hit the ground before Whitlock was able to pull it in. Great job that time from Reeve. Able to evade a couple of defenders, but His pass just a little bit too shy of Whitlock. 3rd down and 13 now here for the Crimson Hawks.
Yeah, I don't know how Reeve got out of that first one. Khalil Taylor from his corner position sent on a blitz on Reeve's blind side, and somehow Reeve able to sense that pressure coming from behind him, able to step up and avoid 2 California pass rushers. But a big 3rd and long here with about 10 and change.
Reeve looking to throw again. Over the middle, pass caught for 1st down. Number 80, Jeremiah Coleman on the reception. It's been a favored target here for Reeve on the afternoon. Picks up the 1st down here for IUP.
Yeah, Coleman that time just a simple dig route over the middle, got lost in the middle of the zone, and Reeve with a good ball able to find his favorite target on the afternoon again.
1st and 10 from the 36. Reeve, little swing pass here into the flat. Some nice positive yardage on 1st down. That was to Leon Parson. Able to pick up about 5. 5 or 6 there on the 1st down throw.
Yeah, Parson not listed as a starting running back, but he has definitely been the more efficient of the 2 so far in this one, getting involved mainly in the run game, but they've been using him on those swing passes a couple times, and it's been pretty effective for Indiana offensively.
2nd and 4. Reeve looking to throw again. Another screen pass. This time finds Whitlock. Whitlock with a couple of blocks on the outside. Falls forward for the 1st down. Brought down at about the 21-yard line. A gain of 9. More than enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, those California fronts kind of had their way with Indiana's offensive line on this drive. So a couple quick hitters just trying to get the ball to their playmakers in space, and it's done wonders here since IUP converted on that 3rd and long.
1st and 10 from the 21. 3 receivers set, man in motion. Play action. Reeve looking to throw over the middle. Pass is caught. Chamonix again, just a dart over the middle that time by Reeve. 1st and goal now for the Crimson Hawks.
Chamonix right up the seam, got in behind the linebackers, and that throw had a lot of heat on it. It looked to surprise Chamonix a little bit as he kind of short-armed it after it already hit his shoulder pad, but a good job being able to hold on.
Yeah, tight window that time, right in between Nevin Hopkins and Alexi Sangster Jr. 1st and goal now from the 4. IUP looking to reclaim the lead. Reeve under center. Handoff this time. They're not going to get there that time. Banks on the run. Got maybe a yard. 2nd down and goal. Coach Dunn having a conversation with the referee. They were trying to get in a substitution, but the referee wouldn't allow it, so they weren't able to get on number 33, Ricariel, that time on that play, but California able to hold up.
Yeah, Coach Dunn's question was why, since IUP was able to sub, why he wasn't allowed to make a substitution of his own.
2nd and goal from the 3. Whitlock in motion. And flags, about 5 of them thrown on the play, a ton of motion. A false start. This will back up the Crimson Hawks 5 yards. Be 2nd and goal now from the 8.
It looked to be both the right guard and the right tackle, Tanner Fuchs and Wyatt Covell, both moving before the snap that time. Just miscommunication there up front.
6:50 and running here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and goal from the 8. Reeve in the gun looking to throw. Pass caught. Spinning away. Forward progress is stopped. Maurice Macy on the grab. Brought down inside the 5. at around the 4-yard line. Will bring up 3rd down and goal here for IUP.
Yeah, Maurice Macy, the 6'4" grad student, 217 pounds. He's a real big physical receiver, and he's listed as their number 1, but so far in this one, the last couple of games, Jeremiah Coleman, number 80, has been pacing this receiving group. Macy, a big target here in the red zone.
3rd and goal. Pass caught by Whitlock for the touchdown. Takes the hit that time from Taylor, but holds on. And IUP retake the lead with 5:48 to go here in the 3rd. Reevy to Whitlock for the score.
And Whitlock's been real solid in this one, able to find an open space in the middle, able to hang on through the big hit from Khalil Taylor on the tail end of that play. And just like that, IUP takes the lead again.
Nick Andrassi on to attempt the extra point. Kick is up, and Andrassi's kick is good. 5:48 remaining. IUP 28, California 24. We'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Digital Network.
The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference celebrates its 75th season in 2025 to 26 and has been a leader in academics and community service throughout the decades. The PSAC is a consistent national leader in academic success rate, federal graduation rate, academic All-America awards, and is annually among the leaders in Make-A-Wish Foundation donations. PSAC proud for 75 years and many more to come.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the George P. Miller Stadium. And IUP leads 28-24 with 5:48 remaining. Our director, Gary Smith, just made the note to me. There's been almost 10 minutes played in this quarter, and California has not had an offensive snap of the football. Bit of a squib kick fielded by Lewis at the 12. Lewis with the lane. Lewis able to break a couple of tackles, but brought down at the 39. Nearly another kick return. Lewis had the lane, but great open field tackle, and California will finally have an offensive possession here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, as you mentioned, about 10 minutes gone here in this quarter, and California's offense is still yet to take an offensive snap. And that de facto 4th down conversion on that muff punt really just gave IUP basically a 10-minute, 96-yard drive that resulted in a touchdown.
The first play from scrimmage for California will result in a penalty, a false start. False start against the right tackle. Solomon Ortiz will back the Vulcans up 5 yards. 1st and 15 now from the 34. A great atmosphere and a great stadium. And a great crowd here for the 16th annual Coal Bowl. 1st and 15. Hand off this time to Agenor, looking for some space. Picks up 1, maybe 2 on the 1st down run.
Agenor was pretty efficient in that first half, looking to keep him going, try to take the weight off of Phaeton Hill's shoulders here as we reach our way towards the end of the 3rd quarter.
Second and 14 from the 36-yard line. 3 receivers set here for Hill. Agenor to his right. Hill takes the snap, looking to throw. Trying to swing it out to Agenor in the flat, but Agenor not really ready for it. Falls incomplete, in the 3rd and long now for California.
Yeah, as you mentioned, not really ready for it. Agenor had just gotten his head around, and the ball was already on him. just couldn't really react to the low throw, and now California trailing with another 3rd and long. They've been pretty good at converting these third down attempts today, but they keep ending up with these 3rd and 7 plus.
3rd and 14, ball on the 35-yard line. 4 receiver set here for Hill. Spencer now in motion. Hill with some time now, looking to throw. Able to find Williams. Williams able to break one off. And Williams able to pick up the first down again. And we've seen them do it all afternoon, and Williams picks up another first down here for California.
Yeah, Williams on an outbreaking route towards the sideline did a great job at coming back to the football to make sure that the defender couldn't make a play on it. Able to make another man miss and pick up another huge 3rd down for California.
1st and 10 now for California inside of IUP territory from the Crimson Hawks 44-yard line.
This offensive line for California has done a phenomenal job at keeping the pressure off of Phaeton Hill today.
Reverse here to Lewis, trying to get him some space on the outside. A flag thrown behind the play as Lewis gets pushed out of bounds after a short gain, but this one's going to get pushed back. Against Ortiz again, his 2nd penalty of the drive. Just trying to set the edge on the outside there, just trying to give Lewis a lane to run through. And that'll push the Vulcans back to within their own territory, 1st down and 20 from their own 46. Spencer in motion across the formation again. Screen pass, able to find Aguilar, and Aguilar has a ton of blockers ahead of him. Aguilar close to picking up the first down. Brought down by number 7, Noah Johnson. Picks up 19. 2nd down and 1 now for California.
Yeah, that is a really good play call. Sensing that IUP was going to bring some pressure, and they did. And a good throw through traffic by Phaeton Hill, getting it to his running back, and he had a convoy in front of him. Good job picking up 19, making it a 2nd and manageable.
2nd and 1, handoff to Aguilar this time, just trying to find a lane. Muscling his way forward. Looking for the official spot. On the play, the California center, number 56, Logan Greer, lost his helmet, so he'll have to sit out at least one play. But it looks like California and Aguilar were able to pick up the first down. So into the game at center for the one play will be the backup center, number 65, Blaze Richards. 1st and 10, ball on the 33. California looking to reclaim the lead. Hill has some time, looking to throw. Has a man down the sideline looking for Johnson. Pass is incomplete, but the referee did throw his hat. So I don't know if he was able to get the flag out in time.
Yeah, the referee threw his flag, signaling that Johnson had stepped out of bounds, and that was a great job in coverage that time by Noah Johnston. Excuse me, number 29, the cornerback, Kalen Frazier. Just kind of keeping good body position there on Johnson and forcing him into the boundary.
2nd down and 10. Handoff this time to Aguilar, able to break off a couple of tackles, still falling forward. Picks up about 4. 3rd and 6 now here for California. Actually, he picked up way more than I thought. We have a bit of an awkward angle that we're sitting at. It's about 3rd and 3. Gain of 7 on that 2nd down rush from Aguilar.
At that time, they pulled Ortiz around from the right tackle spot to give Aguilar another blocker in front of him. Picked up a good block from him, and Aguilar able to make this a 3rd and manageable.
Just under 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. 3rd down and 3. Ball on the 26. Hill in the gun. Another handoff this time to Agenor, just trying to find a lane on the outside. And it looks like he got enough for the first down. He needed 3, and he got 3. Kendrick Agenor picking up the first down for the Vulcans.
Yeah, Ortiz with another good block there, setting the edge for Agenor. And that time, number 1, Nathan Rosario Santos, the linebacker for IUP, did a great job at getting out to the boundary and making sure that Agenor didn't pick up anything else once he got to the edge.
1st and 10, ball on the 21. 3 receivers all to the near side here for California. Another handoff this time to Agenor, but he's not going to go anywhere. Brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Looked like number 92, Logan Goodwin, in on the stop. Lost about 2 on the play. 2nd and 12 now here for California.
IUP kind of saw that one coming. They loaded up that right side from the offensive perspective and just stopped Agenor in his tracks.
Excuse me, they lost 4 on that play. 2nd and 14 for the Vulcans. About a 14-second difference between the game clock and the play clock. Hale looking to throw on 2nd down. Pass is incomplete. Him and Johnson that time not on the same page. 3rd and long now here for the Vulcans.
Yeah, as soon as Hill released that ball, the coaches were visibly frustrated and hard to tell really where their frustrations lie, if that was on Hill or if that was on Johnson for running the wrong route.
Another 3rd and long situation here for California. 3rd and 14. Ball on the IUP 25. 3 receivers set. Agenor the back alongside of Hill. IUP looking to send the pressure. Hill stepping up in the pocket. Hill looking to take off, but he's not going to get anywhere near the first down. Tripped up after a gain of a few by Noah Vaughn. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage, so 4th and 10. And an injured Vulcan down on the field. After the play, and it looks like Hill a little slow to get up after that tackle.
Yeah, kind of got his leg rolled up on as he went to the ground.
So that stops the clock with 4 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. And while we have a second, we do have a couple of shout-outs that I know we have to get to in this one. A happy early birthday to one of our CUTV's very own, Mr. James Anderson. I know on the graphic it says he is older than Google, which is true. Turns 30 on Monday. So happy birthday to Mr. James Anderson. As Hill able to make his way back to his feet, work his way to the sideline. And I know before the game we were talking to Gary, and he wanted us to shout out a fellow Heaslip Award winner, Mr. Jack Benedict, across the sideline. Will call his 600th career game this season, his 600th career IUP football game this season, a legend here for the Crimson Hawks. As that will take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. IUP leads 28-24. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back here for 4th quarter coverage right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Digital Network.
Fall is back, and so is Vulcan football. Follow the Vulcans every step of the way during the 2025 regular season. The season kicks off with a Thursday night clash versus Charleston. Then home September 13th versus Westchester. Home September 26th versus Lock Haven. September 27th at Slippery Rock. October 4th at home versus Seton Hill. October 11th at Edinburgh. Homecoming October 18th versus Clarion. At IUP October 25th. Home versus Frostburg State on November 1st. At Gannon November 8th. And the season finale at Shippensburg November 15th. Follow Cal Vulcans and CUTV for live links, highlights, and much more.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to George P. Miller Stadium. Harry Radcliffe and the Vulcans on to attempt the field goal to make it a 1-point game. Gonzalez to Old Radcliffe's kick is up, and his kick, it barely gets there, but it's good. It's a 1-point game, 28-27 now the score, and we'll keep it here. And an injured Crimson Hawk down after the play. Looks like his teammates will help him off the field, but again, shout out James Anderson, a happy early birthday. His birthday's on Monday. And again, a shout out to Jack Benedict at the radio booth across the sideline from us. A college football legend and just a sports legend in general. And again, Gary wanted me to point out there are 2 He Slip Award winners here in attendance, one on either sideline. He is one of Gary is one of them, and Mr. Benedict across the way is another one. And I think they before the game it was mentioned to us that at the end of the season he will have called his 600th career football game here for the Crimson Hawks. Just a phenomenal accomplishment for Mr. Benedict. And he's seen quite a few of these games in his time. Just some nail biters between these two teams down to the wire. IUP up by 1 as we're now into the 4th quarter. Boland to kick us off. Another squib kick. A liner fielded by Whitlock at the 10. Whitlock leveled in the open field by Austin Kearns. Kearns and Jack Riley able to bring him down.
That time Jack Riley shot out of a cannon, levels Whitlock at the 30-yard line. Whitlock's been dangerous, but that's a good tackle there by Jack, as most call him.
Jack with the stop. 1st and 10 now for the Crimson Hawks from the 30. The Crimson Hawk marching band in full swing. 3 receivers set here for Reeve. First down handoff. Runs into the brick wall, which is the California defensive front. That time Leon Parson on the carry. Picks up about 2.
And that's going to be the big key the rest of this one for California defensively is that defensive line shutting down that run game. Don't let IUP chew any clock. And the back end has done a really good job on these receivers for most of the day and allowing that front 4 to get after Reeve. But the number 1 priority right now for them is to shut down that run game.
2nd and 8. Ball on the 32. Reeve under center. Play action. Reeve stepping up in the pocket. Has a man in the flat. Parson in some open field. And Parson brought down after a huge gain. Malachi Thomas on the tackle, and he's now in California territory. Just a huge swing play.
Yeah, that time just another play action fake, and we've seen a lot of that today. And that time Parson, after getting that fake, just slips out into the flat, and everybody for California, after realizing he didn't have the ball, just kind of forgot about him out there. And he was wide open.
1st and 10, ball on the California 41. Reeve, handoff, but a immediate slip that time by Parson. Got eaten up by the turf monster.
We've seen a couple guys today lose their footing. Not sure if the weather has much to do with that. It's been dry all day here on the campus of Indiana, and
I wouldn't say dry on the campus, dry on the field.
That is a good point. Probably some moisture on the outskirts of the campus.
2nd and 12. Reeve under center. Another play action. Reeve looking to go long here. Has some time, but Reeve brought down. Malachi Thomas on the sack. Another 3rd down and long situation here for the California defense.
Yeah, Reeve took a real hard hit from Thomas that time. Ended up being a pump fake as he had to pull that down. He was ready to throw, but Malachi Thomas got in the throwing lane and ended up basically landing right on top of his shoulder. And then once he wrapped him up, made sure he got him to the ground, and Reevy's real shaken up, trying to work out that left shoulder.
3rd and 20, a loss of 8 on that sack from Thomas. Ball on the IUP 49. Reevy looking to throw. California setting some pressure. Pass completed over the middle. Getting lost in all of that. Was Connor Chamonix, but a roughing the passer call on the back end as well. And IUP will pick up the first down on the 3rd and 20. And it'll be enforced at the end of the play, so half the distance to the goal. So Chamonix with the reception, with the penalty tacked on. 1st and 10 now from the California 13. Reevy under center. Handoff this time. Nice lane, staying on his feet and into the end zone for the touchdown is Tavion Banks. And IUP extend the lead to 7. Banks with a 13-yard score.
A couple chunk plays and a penalty get the Crimson Hawks down into scoring territory, and great blocking up front that time by the IUP offensive line. Gave Banks only one man to beat on his way to the end zone.
Andrassi on to make it an 8-point game. His kick is up, and Andrassi's kick is good. 35-27 the score, 11:29 remaining here in the 4th. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Digital Network.
The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference celebrates its 75th season in 2025 to 26, highlighting the many athletic achievements of its membership institutions. The PSAC has won 59 national team titles, 310 individual titles, produced 29 all-time Olympians, and 43 former PSAC players and coaches have been elected to National Halls of Fame. PSAC proud for 75 years and many more to come.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the George P. Miller Stadium. 11:29 remaining here in the 4th quarter. IUP up by 8, 35-27 the score. And Andrassi to kick us off here. A squib kick of their own, a fair catch called. And California will start with the football from their own 32-yard line. It was number 42, Taewon Bandy, able to field that one there for California. I think both teams realizing the danger that the returners have on either side, so just playing it safe.
Yeah, a couple electric returns so far in this one on both sides, and you can see the special teams units really trying to be cautious.
Handoff on first down to Agenor, and he's held up immediately, brought down for a loss of a couple. Taydon Strickland in on the tackle. A loss of 4 on the first down run that time by Agenor.
Yeah, Strickland, one of those linebackers I mentioned earlier, real physical, real fast, and now they're really starting to get downhill and prevent Agenor from getting any room to run on the ground. 2nd and 14 ball in the California 29.
Full receiver set here for Hill. In the gun, looking to throw on first down, airing it out deep down the field. Has Williams, pass is incomplete. And everybody looking for a flag, but nothing thrown. Coverage that time by Noah Johnson. Pass intended for Williams.
Yeah, most of this game there's been hand fighting on both sides and incidental contact, but that time it looked like the defender got there just a step too early, didn't really turn his head around. So California has a case for arguing that should have been pass interference, but no call and another 3rd and long for California to overcome.
Yeah, we've seen them in this spot time and time again. 3rd and 14. Hill with some time finds Williams over the middle. Looking at the spot, it looks like it will be about a yard or two shy of the first down. And California looking to keep the offense out there to go for it. 4th down and 1.
Yeah, I like this call here. You've been moving the ball pretty well most of the day in multiple different fashions. Only needing a yard to go. Try to keep the offense on the field.
Hill in the gun. Fakes the snap, but gives it to Lehu. And I don't know if they got it, but the ball came out at some point in the process.
Yeah, forward progress was stopped, but IUP kept stripping at the football and ended up ripping it out, and their sideline ended up starting to go nuts, thinking that they had a fumble return.
Yeah, everybody just trying to figure out what's going on. It was number 5. It was number 5 for IUP, David Awua, returning it for a touchdown.
The line to gain was the 43-yard line. It looks like the officials are standing. It's hard to tell from our vantage point, but it looks to be right on it. But
yeah, the defense initially looked to celebrate as if they got the stop. They were able to hold Lehu up just enough, but now they're going to bring out the chain gang to measure it to see if Lehu was able to get there on the 4th down run.
Yeah, the ball rested in the middle of the field on that Crimson Hawk logo. Kind of tough to tell where on the yardage marker it is.
In this game, a matter of inches. Did Lehu get there? And he didn't get there. He's about a half a yard short. And the Crimson Hawk defense is going wild. A 4th down stop. It said Logan Goodwin was in on the stop initially. That time for IUP. And able to hold him back. Like you said, they needed to get to the 43. And they just couldn't quite get there. Lehu held up just enough.
And that's the second crucial short yardage stop that IUP has gotten in this football game, preventing California from putting up points.
IUP now in full control. 9:51 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Reevy under center. First down handoff. Banks not really able to get anywhere. Gain of 1 or 2.
At that time, Sam Hobbs from his middle linebacker position did a good job coming downhill and not allowing Banks to get his feet moving. Had some help from Malachi Thomas on that play as well.
2nd and 8. Ball on the Vulcan 41-yard line. A trio of receivers on the near side here for IUP. And another handoff. This time bouncing to the outside is Parson, and Parson's going to pick up the first down.
Yeah, Parson's been real tough to bring down so far in this football game. If the hole isn't there initially, he's done a great job with those little jump cuts of getting to the outside or just evading any sort of California pressure up the middle. And he's been real explosive whenever he's got some space.
1st and 10 now from the California 31. IUP looking to make it a 2-score game. And at this point in the contest, it would be devastating for California. Reeve to throw, pass caught over the middle, and still on his feet is Maurice Macy, still going. But the ball came out at some point, and California are claiming they have it. But was his forward progress stopped? And the referees say that it was. The forward progress was stopped before the ball came out, because California had the football there at the end. But the forward progress from Macy was stopped.
That time Macy on a slant beats Khalil Taylor right off the line of scrimmage. Had a step almost immediately, and good ball there by Reeve. But good job by Taylor not quitting on the play.
Play action, Reeve the throw, pass caught. Still moving and brought down about 2 yards shy of the end zone is Chamonix. The Crimson Hawk offense is just continuing to hum.
Yeah, this offense has been extremely explosive all season long, and they've just been ripping this California defense with those bootlegs. And the Reeve to Chamonix connection has been really, really good in this football game.
And they pick up another first down, 1st and goal now from the 2. Reeve under center. Handoff this time to Parson, and Parson will get thrown down for a huge loss. Josh Huff able to bring him down. Loses 4 on the play. 2nd and goal now from the 6. These are the kind of situations where we've seen the Vulcan defense have that bend but don't break mentality. We've seen them come up with some big stops here in and around the end zone. Do they have another one in them? 2nd and goal. Reeve looking to throw, rolling to his right, pass incomplete. Intended for Banks there in the flat. 3rd and goal now here for IUP.
It's been real interesting in this game. Reeve, once he gets on the move on those bootlegs and those designed quarterback rollouts, he's been really accurate throwing the football. But anytime he's kind of rushed off his spot by the defensive line, he's been pretty inaccurate for the most part, trying to throw on the run.
6:03 remaining here in the 4th quarter. IUP up by 8. 3rd and goal from the 6. 4 receiver set, man in motion. Play action pass, incomplete once again. Intended for Chamonix. Now comes the field goal unit here for the Crimson Hawks, and we've talked about it time and time again all year. The California special teams unit leads the country in blocked kicks. Do they have another one in them here?
Yeah, Andrassi's got a big leg, and if you've noticed on all these extra points, and this is about that range, he's been making sure that kick gets way up in the air.
Andrassi on to make it an 11-point game. Jumping over the line, Andrassi's kick is up, and his kick is good. 38-27 now the score. 5:54 remaining here in the 4th quarter. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Digital Network.
The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference celebrates its 75th season in 2025 to 26 and has been a leader in academics and community service throughout the decades. The PSAC is a consistent national leader in academic success rate, federal graduation rate, academic All-America awards, and is annually among the leaders in Make-A-Wish Foundation donations. PSAC proud for 75 years and many more to come.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to George P. Miller Stadium here in Indiana, Pennsylvania, with 5:54 remaining here in the fourth quarter. IUP leads 38-27. Another squib kick. Bandy will be the recipient of it. Fair catch called, and California will set up shop in and around their own 25 to 30 yard line. Just me for the moment as my broadcast partner, Adam Crawford, went to take quite possibly, I think, the fastest bathroom trip of all time. He's now hopping back on the headset. How you doing, buddy?
I'm much better now. We're holding that one in for a while, but we're all good. Lucked out with the bathrooms being right here, though.
Yeah, we got a great spot set up right next to the bathroom, so you didn't have to travel far. California back out there on their own 25-yard line. Hill looking to throw on first down and out route, trying to find Johnson, but that one a little too short for him. Pass falls incomplete, intended for Johnson. 2nd and 10 now for California.
That time, Johnson on the out route, and with Peyton Hill thrown from that far side hash to the near sideline, just didn't have enough power on that throw to get it to his intended target.
2nd and 10. Ball in 25. Hand off to Agenor, trying to find somewhere to go, but he has nowhere to go. And it's Logan Goodwin again on the stop. Agenor loses a yard in the process. 3rd and long again for California.
Yeah, right here, another 3rd and long. Peyton Hill's got to be looking to his number one target these last couple of games. Number one in the slot, Deontay Williams.
Hill in the gun, has some time, looking to throw, has a man down the near sideline. Pass is caught. Johnson able to pull it in. Johnson able to keep a foot in on the near side and pulls it in, to the dismay of the entirety of IUP. Ian Amagacher not happy about that call, and I think IUP will throw out the challenge flag as they're going to take a second look at this, as that was a huge throw and catch from Hale to Johnson, and the referees will head to the booth to take a look at this one to make sure that they got the call right.
Yeah, right in front of us on this near sideline. Hill recognized Johnson had one-on-one, and he's real good with those contested catches. Brought that in initially with one hand, and then after he already got taken to the ground, then the ball popped out, and it'll be interesting to see if the refs determine that he was already down or if he didn't survive the ground with secure possession of the football. But this will be a crucial call coming up, and the ruling on the field here is important because the referees have to see enough in the replay to overturn it. Has to be that old adage, conclusive evidence.
Yeah, the initial call was a completed pass. Yeah, like I said, Amagacher there for IUP was pretty much screaming at the referee that was not a completed pass, that Johnson wasn't able to hold on to it.
Yeah, he initially got up and celebrated his work, thinking he caused an incomplete catch, and then once he turned around and realized what the officials ruled, he was irate.
So wait a second, I was also told, I got a text message, I was told to shout out JJ Michael Robinson. So shout out to him. Shout out to my girlfriend Zoe Belknap. Shout out to everybody watching here at home on this beautiful, cold Saturday afternoon.
I was questioning your usage of the word beautiful as I'm currently twirling my hand warmers in my pocket.
But it's always a beautiful day when we're able to enjoy some Vulcan football.
Oh, absolutely. Great day to be alive here in Indiana, Pennsylvania.
Again, the referee is taking a long look at this one. Like you said, the initial call plays a huge factor in this one, as the initial call was a completed pass. So there has to be enough evidence in it to overturn that call. And a huge shout out to the Vulcan marching band and the cheerleaders for making the trip up here today as well. Just trying to keep up the away spirit, the away crowd. You know, it's in an environment like this here at George P. Miller Stadium, it's easy to kind of get engulfed in the atmosphere that IUP is able to bring every single week. But California doing a great job at bringing it out here. And IUP on the field first, and they're starting to head back towards the initial line of scrimmage. And now the chain gang for the first down is starting to slowly move back to the initial spot. So I don't think the call will stand, and it will be a 4th down now for the Vulcan offense. The referee hasn't come out to make the official call yet, but it looks like after the review it will be 4th and 11 for California.
As you mentioned, the referee hasn't made the official call yet. Both teams are lined up, and we're just missing the official.
Yeah, both teams have moved back to the line of scrimmage where the previous play was held, and now the chain gang slowly starting to move their way back. And again, the referee, the head referee, has not made an appearance, and now Coach Salisbury. And the referee has now made the official call. Johnson not able to hold on to it. The pass was incomplete. So now Coach Salisbury and Coach Dunn will use this time to talk things over real quick, and it's now a much different game plan. Instead of a 1st and 10 from the IUP sideline, it is now 4th and 11 from your own 24.
Yeah, they just showed the replay of that questionable call on the field, and it did look like, or we did see the ball pop out at the end, but I mean, tough with the camera angles that we had available to really see if it was a completed catch and then the ball was ripped out, or as the officials deemed, he did not survive the ground with the one-handed grab.
So the punting unit out there for California, Gonzalez, to send this one away. And it'll trail out of bounds at around the 35-yard line. .455 remaining here in the 4th quarter. One score really is all IUP needs to steal off this game.
Yeah, California is going to need a really quick stop here on defense to give their offense a chance to get one of the 2 scores that they need to tie this game up or potentially take the lead.
1st and 10 from the 35, Reeve under center. Bunch formation on the far side. Parson the back, and he'll receive the call. Handoff. Parson, nice positive yardage on the 1st down run, picks up about 7. And if the result stands, it's a very interesting position atop the PSAC as Slippery Rock had 2 losses in conference play, IUP with only the 1, but their 1 loss is to Slippery Rock, so they got to maintain the perfect conference record from here on out to ensure their way to the conference championship game. Otherwise, Slippery Rock holds that tiebreaker over top of them.
And with Clarion coming up next for this Redhawks team.
2nd and 3, the handoff that time again to Parson. He falls forward for the first down.
I got in late there, but as I was saying, the Clarion's up next for this IUP squad, and as we saw them firsthand last week, that is a very tough defense especially, but they're very versatile on offense, and that is a very difficult matchup for most of the teams in the PSAC, but
it's not a game you can write off like you could in previous years, and one that IUP has to be worried about. Again, Parson gets the call, but this time gets tripped up, and it looks like California will take their first timeout. We'll stop the clock with 3:17 remaining here in the fourth quarter. And like we talked about, this game imperative on California's chances of making the conference title game, as this loss will be their third, if the result stands, will be their third conference loss of the season.
Yeah, and the story of the season for this California team has really been the key injuries and the inconsistency at the beginning of the year offensively. First year without Davis Black at the helm and trying to figure out who they were and trying to figure out their identity, and they ended up becoming a more balanced attack these last couple of weeks, but it took a learning curve to be able to figure that out, and unfortunately it came at the cost of 2 losses to Edinburgh and Seton Hill at home.
Toss this time to Whitlock. Charney able to bring him down in the open field, and California will quickly call another timeout. 3:10 now remaining on the clock. And like you said, 2 tough losses early in the season there for California. After coming into the season nationally ranked, we're able to jump all the way up to number 6 in the country. Have now kind of fallen by the wayside in that regard. IUP's next game, they will be traveling up to Erie to face off against the Gannon Golden Knights. California will return home next week to take on Frostburg for their final home game of the season.
Yeah, we've seen Gannon pull off an upset earlier this season as well over Slippery Rock, so even I got caught looking ahead of the IUP Clarion matchup, but IUP has to have its sights set on Gannon first.
I think as long as I've been here, this is the closest that the PSAC West has ever been. It's usually been pretty top-heavy between Cal, IUP, and Slippery Rock, and the rest have kind of just been there. Third down run here for Reevy, and Huff able to bring him down right at the line of scrimmage. Coach Dunn will call his third and final timeout and stop the clock with 3:05 remaining. So California still with plenty of time, and they will get the football back.
Yeah, California did a great job after the first 2 plays of that drive, really buckling down and taking care of that rushing attack and allowing Coach Dunn to use those timeouts on the plus side of the 2-minute warning and give his squad a chance here late in this football game.
Yeah, after what happened last week, anything is possible. I'm not willing to write anything out.
Yeah, we've learned on multiple occasions the last couple of years of doing this. here, partner. It is not over until there's triple zeros.
Yeah, I remember not the last Cold Bowl that was here. The one before that, there was some insanity at the end of the game. I remember former CUTV and IUP alum Mr. Peyton Trollinger and Johnny Sakaguchi were on the call for that one. It was just a barn burner right at the end of the game. We saw at the Cold Bowl at home last year just some insanity. So anything can happen. Williams on the punt return will be forced out of bounds almost immediately. Like I said, California with plenty of time, just under 3 minutes to go. Down by 11. They have their work cut out for them, but like you said, I'm still not willing to write anything off quite yet because we've seen what they're able to do.
Yeah, this secondary for Indiana has been really impressive at keeping everything underneath of them and breaking up these contested catches. So it's going to be really tough without that deep threat so far in this game that we've seen. It's going to be really difficult to kind of push the ball down the field and score quickly.
Four receivers set here for Hill, 1st and 10. Looking to throw, under pressure, has to roll out. Has Johnson here on the near sideline, has some room. Johnson will shuffle his way out of bounds. Just shy of the 40-yard line.
That was a good throw there from Peyton Hill. Looks a little wobbly on the run, but good placement.
Hill again, quickly going. Pass caught. Johnson able to pull that one in. Right around the first down marker. And now they're going to say the pass was incomplete. The initial call was a completed pass, but after some discussions with both referees here on the near side, they're going to say Johnson couldn't get his feet down inbounds. 2nd and 10 now here for California. And the low snap. And luckily for California, they'll catch a break as they're going to say there was no play as they were trying to reset the game clock as everything was all out of whack as Greer with the low snap. Hill was just scrambling to try to get on top of it. So California catch a break there. 2nd and 10. Ball on their own 37. Hill, quick throw to the far sideline, incomplete. Again, just not enough oomph there to trying to get it to Kenny Lewis.
Yeah, those long throws across the field are really, really tough on a quarterback because it's really easy for a corner to jump those and at least get a hand on it, and it's also really tough to get it all the way over there.
And the stadium music intensified to 1,000,000 here. 3rd and 10. I think Coach Dunn finally telling the referee about it as the Vulcans were getting ready to line up and the music was still playing. 3rd down and 10, but now that has reinvigorated the life of the Crimson Hawks as Williams with the reception, able to break off a tackle. And picks up the 1st down before making his way out of bounds.
Wow, referees missed a horse collar there at the tail end of that play as Williams was coming out of bounds. And Coach Dunn is absolutely irate.
But the clock was moving for a second still. They'll add an extra 8 seconds on it. It reads 2:12 now, so they'll reset the clock to 2:18 as it was still running as Williams was tackled out of bounds. 1st and 10 from the IUP 47. 4 receivers set as now the clock's starting to run. Hill Has Williams over the middle, pass caught for the first down. And it looks like that will take us to the 2-minute timeout, as Coach Salisbury has to get on the field and try to intervene between DeVay Johnson and Kalen Frazier, as both of them exchanging some shoving, some blocking back and forth, and they're exchanging some words. So Coach Salisbury on the sideline just trying to cool down Johnson and just trying to keep him locked in on the goal at hand, which is trying to quickly get into the end zone. As we are now into the 2-minute timeout. 2 minutes exactly on the clock, 38-27 the score.
California really going to look to get the ball into the end zone on this drive to try to make sure that they can only have to get a field goal if they can get the ball back one more time inside these 2 minutes.
They needed a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and a field goal. 4 receivers set here for Hill. 1st and 10. Hill looking to throw. Pass to the far sideline, caught by Penn. Penn brought down in the middle of the field, and the time slowly starting to tick. Under a minute and 50 to go. California quickly back to the line. 2nd and 3. And a flag thrown as Penn wasn't set. He was jumping up and down on the far sideline as he was trying to get himself set.
Yeah, Penn, whenever he caught that football, instead of breaking to the sidelines,
and that'll move the Vulcans back 5 yards, and I believe that'll be a 10-second runoff there. So the 10-second runoff added on. So the clock moves from 1:42 to 1:32, and the clock will start now as the referee signals 2nd and 8. Hill. Pass caught by Williams for the first down. They quickly get it to the referee, and they're trying to, as the clock is still moving even after they pick up the first down. So the rule is after they pick up the first down under 2 minutes, they have to stop the clock for the chains to reset. And the game clock operator has not stopped the clock yet, so they're trying to get that situated. 1:20 and counting. Hill looking for the end zone. Will sail out of the back. Incomplete, intended for Williams.
And that incompletion's all right. Let everybody kind of catch their breath. As it's been a frantic about last minute and a half or so with clock issues and penalties and
stadium music and everything.
About anything you can think of. Vulcans are trying to overcome it all. IUP's trying to stand tall here in the red zone late.
Johnson in motion here on the near side, and some movement in the offensive line. This one will go against the center, Logan Greer, and that'll back him up 5 yards. 2nd and 15 now here for California. Their only saving grace is the clock wasn't moving, so no 10-second run-on applied that time. 1 minute and 13 seconds left. Hill under pressure, rolling now to his right, trying to find Johnson. Pass is incomplete, just throwing it out of bounds. 3rd and 15 now for California.
Hey, this IUP secondary is really just locking up these receivers towards the boundary. The only area that Faden Hill can really look towards is the middle of the field, and these linebackers are doing a good job at sitting underneath all those routes.
And you don't really want to look over the middle because you don't have a whole lot of time left. They bring you down in bounds. 3rd and 15 from the 21. Hill stepping up in the pocket, just slinging it. Sidearm. Agenor able to pull it in. Picks up about 5, under a minute to go. 4th down, and the field goal unit on to quickly try to do something here for California. As they need a touchdown and a field goal. Ratcliffe on for the 3 points. And his field goal is good. 44 seconds remaining. 30 now the score. And we'll keep it here, as I think we all collectively need a second to calm down, as Ratcliffe able to knock that one in.
Yeah, coaches call that the fire drill when there's no timeouts left and you really got to get the field goal unit on and get the ball kicked as quickly as possible. Well executed by California. Now the extremely tall task of not only down 8 points, needing the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, but also the onside kick to be able to set yourself up to do so. And like we've said, we've seen some crazy things in some of these games before, and with the way this game has gone, I would be far from surprised if we saw something else that we were not expecting to see.
Yeah, we've seen it all here, and especially with this special teams unit, we've seen them do some pretty ridiculous things. We've seen them do some pretty crazy things. So I wonder if they have something unique up their sleeves here to try to convert on this onside kick attempt. Hayden Boland will be tasked to do so here. The hands team on there for IUP. The game on the line. High bounce. IUP come down with it. The jump ball was there. Maurice Macy able to hold on to it. It was a jump ball between him and Johnson, and Macy able to hold on. And IUP will walk away winners from the 16th annual Cole Bowl.
Yeah, you had the 2 top targets, the 2 top receivers from each team going up for that football. Diavi Johnson for California, and for IUP, the one coming down with it, as you said, Maurice Macy, the 6'4" grad student, able to go up and high point that football. And a tremendous game from start to finish here today at Frank Signetti Field.
And the knee that time from Reefy will seal it off. They're going to have to do one more for consolation maybe, but it looks like they won't, as both coaches will walk onto the field. And that will be the end of it. IUP will claim victory here at the George P. Miller Stadium, 38-30 over California. IUP will keep their playoff hopes alive, and they'll take a commanding lead in the conference play after that, as the cannon goes off one final time here. Your final score here from the George P. Miller Stadium: IUP 30, IUP 38, California 30. From everyone here at CUTV, thank you very much for watching. From our director Gary Smith, from our broadcast crew Hunter Garman, Adam Crawford, my name is Jonathan Sape. Thank you all very much for watching, and as always, good night, California.